change starts right here with us. We're gonna live the right way, y'all. Something called No More Pain, brought to you by Eme Etuk, aka Moni D. I love you. Peace starts right here with you, coast and roof around the world. But you got to get the message. Yeah, turn the track up. There we go. Give me some more. How we feeling? Everybody around the world, show me the peace sign. Let me know how you're feeling. Peace in the world today starts right here with you. No more pain, y'all. It's got to be done, y'all. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling you. We're going to spread it around and make everybody feel comfortable and grow together. Let's do this, y'all. Woo! Come on, y'all. Yeah, come on. Woo! Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, so no more pain. No more pain, y'all. It's time to celebrate. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Check it out. Yeah, yeah. Woo! Check it out. I keep trying to tell you that we can't keep living in the same old ways. Times, they have to change. So put your guns down, communicate, bring your big smile and separate the hate. So love me as a child, this peace we create, I've been waiting for a while. I hope it's here today, just bring it ghetto style. It's time to celebrate. Pain, it's time to change the game. No more pain, it's time to celebrate. So no more pain, it's time to change the game. So no more pain. Check it out, y'all. This is what I did. I made the change. I've been down on my knees. My karma I change. And you, see, can do it too. Yeah, it starts with your mind. One day at a time. Bring your big smiles. Separate the hate. So love me as a child. This peace we create, I've been waiting for a while. I hope it's here today. Just bring a ghetto style, y'all. Y'all feel me? Yo, yo, let's say it. No more pain. It's time to change the game. No more pain. It's time to celebrate. So no more pain. It's time to change the game. Let's go. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. Show me the peace sign around the world, y'all. Love you. Eme Etuk. Eme Etuk, how you doing, Tony?
You said I can call you Moni D.
Moni D in the house. Right. How we feeling, brother?
That power.
It's good to see you, man.
You said no more pain.
No more pain.
Where did that come from?
Well, I am a black American.
Okay, okay.
And it's kind of tough right now.
Right.
And what I'm doing is propagating the message of peace throughout the world. In Japan, Japanese, we call it Kosen Rufu. And I'm a Buddhist, so we share that message. And so I'm just living the dream the best of my ability.
Right. Now, my understanding, you've done a few things with New Shoes and just writing. What's
yeah.
going on with that?
Well, I've been on a couple New Shoes records. I wasn't on the hit, but I'm gonna.
You are the hit, though.
I'm the hit. Thank you.
Okay.
They will love that.
Okay.
For me, just working on that level.
Right.
They're Grammy-nominated artists.
Okay.
So the second song I'm gonna do, John Smith, the musician with them, he helped me write that song. I just been blessed, man. Just been travel around the world. Spreading my message of peace throughout the world.
Yeah, you want to spread that peace. You say you've been blessed. Where's that coming from?
You know, I stay focused on a daily basis, being really spiritually connected, and I have to stay in tune with what's going on right now and really stay in focus because it's a challenging time.
Absolutely.
It's a challenging time.
Would you come back and do another song for us?
I definitely will, sir.
Moni D, y'all. Joining me right now is Mr. Lennie Edwards. Mr. Lennie Edwards has been in the trenches a long time. So I'm going to let him share a little bit about his journey and what you have been doing for our community as well as yourself. Mr. Lennie Edwards, please welcome Mr. Lennie Edwards. Let's talk a little bit about your journey, where people can kind of know who you are and what you've been through.
Well, I came to Portland in February of 1982 for what was going to be a year or two. I had graduated in 1980 with a degree in linguistics from UC San Diego, and I was on my way to Harvard Graduate School of Education. And a friend of mine, Art Alexander, who we grew up in New Jersey together, was the coordinator of the Black Community Channel on the cable company. And they had a position for an intern to address the dearth of minorities in the media. So my idea was I was going to come here for a year or two.
For a year or
do the
two, huh?
Intern position, learn how to do video,
Right, okay.
and then go on to Harvard. Once I got here, I discovered, well, what's now called Open Signal, but at that time was Portland Cable Access.
Okay.
And so I was fascinated by this opportunity to bring the distillation of freedom of speech to, I mean, what we're doing now, where anyone who wants to come in and has something that they want to say and communicate through state-of-the-art media could do it regardless of how much money they have in their pockets.
Okay.
I did that. I opened up the facility in North Portland. I opened up this facility in 1984. And then in 1987, I had the opportunity to, in fact, go to what had been my goal, and that has become a teacher. And I've been teaching video production and digital media at Jefferson High School for, this is my 31st year now.
Oh, you got to clap praise on that. Clap praise on that. This started out with a two-year journey.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, a year or two.
2 year journey. Now, you talked about opening up this facility.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that so people can kind of visualize what it was like then and where it is today?
Right. Well, when the cable came to the east side of the Willamette River, for having the public rights of way and also bringing in all of those signals, all that information from the outside world, the cable company promised that they would provide 12 local origination channels, as well as fund 3 community access centers. So there was to be one in Southeast Portland, one in North Portland, and one in Northeast Portland. So we opened the one out on 72nd and Foster in '82, I believe it was. We opened one on Lombard at Portsmouth in, oh my goodness, shortly after that.
Okay.
And then in '84 or '85, this facility opened. And it wound up being the only facility because the cable company went crying to the city that they weren't making as much money as they thought they were going to,
Right,
and that they couldn't afford to fund the access centers. Right. But this facility started off very much as it is now, not in terms of the equipment,
Right.
but some of the stuff is still old. In fact, myself, not by myself,
Right.
but hung the light grids in both of these studios. And so there's that continuity, but it is and has been since its inception a place where people can come in, learn how to use the tools of the media, make the kind of programming that they want to, and have outlets to put it out for the broader community to
So we're talking to a pioneer right now. Yeah,
Well,
we really are. We really are. We're talking to a pioneer right now. And where did you get your influence from? There's always people that influence our life. Where did yours come from?
Well, you can't have grown up as a kid in the 50s and 60s and not been inundated by television. So,
Right.
there was just that. But I was extremely lucky when I came here to encounter the real brother in the trenches for a long time, who's unfortunately no longer with us, but George Page.
George Page.
So George Page was both a video pioneer and radio. I mean, he was at KBOO for many, many years. And I learned a lot from working with that brother.
Right. Now, there was another gentleman, Mr. Larry
Dunham.
Dunham.
Larry Dunham got his start in video production actually when I was at the Southeast Center on Foster. He came out and was using the equipment, and actually I taught the first class that he was in. and he went from there to become ACE award-winning producer. He worked for the cable company for many years, producing Northeast Spectrum, and then he did the same as I and made that move over to Jefferson High School, and he taught at Jefferson and at Harriet Tubman for a number of years.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, our hearts, our prayers, respect goes out to both of those gentlemen. That we verbally can't say it to them now, but we send it up to them. Absolutely, because what you gentlemen step forward to do is here now, and it's going to create generations. Let's talk a little bit about Jefferson High School. You over there now? How's it going?
Well, for the last few years, we have no longer had the threat of closure over our heads. There was a time when from year to year, we did not know if the next September we would be accepting, we would be allowed to accept students. Of course, you know, we wanted to. For many years, when I started at Jefferson and for a number of years before that, it was the district's magnet arts program.
Absolutely, yeah.
That went by the wayside in the early 90s after great funding losses. But it is now no longer a community school. It's what's called a focus option school. So that's the fancy name now for a magnet school.
Break that down to us, because all we know is Jefferson demos.
Yeah, that has not changed since 1910.
Yeah.
Okay. But students who attend Jefferson High School, which is now actually Jefferson High School Middle College, gets to cross the street and take classes at PCC for absolutely no fees whatsoever. So there's
beautiful.
no tuition, no books, no materials, nothing. So we have had, over the last 2 years, I know at least 2 students who graduate from get a high school diploma and an AA at the same time.
That's beautiful.
And even for students who aren't able to take that many credits and get a degree, when they step onto a college campus as their first day freshman, they have 2 years of college experience behind them, so that they're not taken, you know, by surprise. Oh, what is this here? Mm-hmm. You know, they know what the expectations are. They've taken college level classes, and it's a wonderful opportunity.
Right now, you talk about some of the students. Some of the students that went through your program or under your tutelage. I want to show a clip, if we can, of one of your students. I had the opportunity to meet with him and talk with him.
Let me show you some features about it. Jefferson High School is a performing arts school, which has a worldwide reputation. Some important people and events came here to visit us.
The duo of Kid and Play visited Jefferson High School to speak to the students. Their new movie, House Party 2, has been doing great at the box office. I had a chance to interview them, and I asked them to tell me a little bit about the plot. And here's what they had to say.
We got a good one. If you were the director, writer, or the producer for House Party 2, where would you have taken it?
You know, I started, you know, kind of like send him to college or something, you know. Had you trying to hold him back, you know, doing that. And in the end, you know, kind of had y'all, you know, just like back buddies again, you know, both one, you were Casey here, and him, you know, then go to college. So.
Yeah, that's good, man.
That's good.
That's just exactly how it is. E-man,
you're brilliant.
You're psychic.
You know, before we go any further, you know, I want to know who I'm talking to. Could you tell me your name?
My name is Christopher Reed.
My name is Christopher Martin.
His name is Mark Eastman.
Many have wondered, how long did it take to grow that crazy whack do? So I asked him.
I rocked the box for about 3.5 years. Then I got tired of it, you know?
He had to let it go when he saw he couldn't take on responsibility.
And you're going to come up on a lot of things in the next year or two. It's only like a crossroads. There's a good way you can go, and there's a bad way. And this time here in school, you may not realize it's going to prepare you to make that right decision when the time comes. A lot of people don't know when Clay and I were coming up, there was a lot of different ways we could have gone instead of ended up where we were. But I think because we had a friendship, we helped each other out and kept each other from doing the wrong thing so that we could be here in front of y'all, thanking y'all for helping us be where we're at.
I don't know if you guys have any, you know, last words that you want to tell, you know.
I didn't do it, no.
I want to say thank you to everybody who has supported us. I don't know when this will be viewing or be aired, but we're #1 film as of the weekend that just passed. We're looking at October 28th right now. #1 film. Our single is doing great. Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. We have an album out now called Face the Nation. We want to thank you for the support of the other 2 albums, Too Hype and Funhouse. Thank you all, and God bless y'all. Without y'all, we couldn't swing it. Now kick it, kid, the way we really feel.
My man said it all. What can I say? you know? Just continue to love me, please, because I sure do love you.
Who is also the one who you heard during doing the voiceover. His name is Eme Etuk.
Okay.
And he took 3 years of classes at Jefferson High School and went on to less than 10 years after graduating from Jefferson, he became a full-fledged member of the Directors Guild. He's worked on movies such as Crash. He worked with David Lynch doing the latest Twin Peaks. He was second assistant director. So it was great to watch the show and just see his name, come up in the credits. Actually, he appeared in Twin Peaks, and he also appeared in Crash. But he's done a lot of film and video work. He lives here in Portland with his family now. But when Hollywood calls, he jumps on a plane and goes down and does what he needs to do down there. So it's really gratifying as a teacher to see a student that has taken the ball, as it were, and just run for that touchdown.
It sounds like you're really ecstatic and happy about his success.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Lennie Edwards, Eme. Come on, join us. Come on, join us. We're going to get Mike. Yeah. You had no clue, huh? That's one of those moments that's priceless.
It is.
That's priceless. It was beautiful. The audience, we enjoyed it. I know the viewing audience enjoyed it. And I could feel your energy when he walked out and you seen his face. That was just awesome. Priceless.
Well, we've spent many hours together.
Uh-huh. Was he a hard student? Or was he one of the students that caught on and just...
Oh, no, he came in absolutely with a passion.
Right, okay.
And, back then in the day, we did a half-an-hour news show every week. And if the pieces weren't ready, right. I would go and pick them up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we would come to school because the custodians opened the building up at 6:20. We'd work till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and when they threw us out, because we had 8 people, one edit system, and had to do a half-hour news show every week.
He was there.
So no, he was no trouble at all.
At all, yes. Share a little bit about what you've been doing with yourself, sir. Because that same guy, Kid and Plays.
Yeah, it's fun. Watching that, it's like a flashback to them talking about a movie. Little bit I know I go on and be working in movies, but it really goes back to Jefferson High School. I didn't really have much exposure to television production or that level of it. And little did I know that one of the top schools in the nation was Jefferson at that time.
Right.
I didn't fully understand that until I went to college at Clark Atlanta University. And I went down there and they were giving me these books. And I was like, that's cool, but I want the camera. And they were like, well, you have to learn that. And I showed them what I'd done. It's like, well, I'm already doing senior level college work. And like, where did you done like TV and like short films? Like, well, yeah, in high school. Yeah. But it was because of Lennie. Yeah. And I didn't know them, but that work ethic, And then it was like, he'd come, like little knocking on the door, like, you better be up too. Right. Like I still have his phone number memorized because I guess I had to call, like, and he'd be there at 6 a.m. and you had to learn every position, Right. You had to learn how to run cable. You had a technical direct. You had to learn how to edit. You had to learn how to light. You had to learn sound. You had to be in front of the camera.
Right.
But invaluable going forward in my career because, now sometimes I have to be at work at 5 a.m. I might be there till midnight. But it's like, well, I can outwork anybody because like that was my initiation, Right. That's what he expected of us. I didn't realize that was an industry standard, but it was atypical because other schools don't do that.
Exactly.
So I got to college and had to step up, working the Olympics in '96 when I was at ABC News, and I was always ahead of the game, but it was because in high school I was doing college level work and college really quality production.
Now, where did your passion come from? Your passion, because Mr. Edwards said that you was always there. You had this passion. Where did it come from?
Well, it was just magical. I love communicating.
Okay.
I'm a people person. I love just the idea of communicating idea. And here with media, you could get out to a lot of people at one time, and so beyond public speaking it was just like automatically, like you play it and people see it. And at Jefferson back there, like they would play it in the classroom.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Crazy. We talking the '90s, like it was so next level. Like we'd watch in the classroom like JTV News. And I remember watching it like, man, I want to be a part of that. And then to get a chance to, do a story on things that happened, that were important to the community. And here we were reporting, and he gave us a voice as students. And that was huge to know that, my voice is important and I can share it. And we had comedies, we did like short films, we did, everything you can imagine. Matter of fact, there was a food critic show, myself and Chris Damke.
Yeah.
And
Lennie, remember that?
Yeah, Lennie would let us do whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
And Chris and I were like, we like to eat. It was like, hey, if we do a food
Like to
critic
eat.
show, we can probably get free food. And there was a place, this is real. And there was a place, Campbell's Ribs.
Right.
Our pal was like, hey, let's go critique them. You know,
Right.
and they gave briskets and ribs. And we sat down, did a whole show, and just was like,
Right.
But it was like, hey, we were doing a real service. The purpose, we were young, like free food.
Right.
But we did an actual show.
Right.
But that was the kind of freedom that, he gave us as high school students, and he treated us different.
Right.
He didn't talk at us, he talked to us, and it was really like, Lennie didn't let you make excuses.
Oh,
Anybody that comes and picks you up at 6 o'clock in the morning and drives you in their car, and it's not like he told you like, unroll this cable. It was like he was next to you,
Right.
like over under, like you learned it. He just kept drilling. I didn't fully get how important that would be. But later on, when I'm teaching people who have more experience, like, no, don't you, it's like this.
Right,
And it's like, oh, Lennie taught me that. So I'm having conversations with people who are veterans, but we're at a similar place because he drilled it into me.
Right. Now,
And so-
I had a chance to look at some of the footage, and you guys had like Dick Gregory over there. And
Oh, my God, yeah.
you want to talk about some of the people that came through there that you had opportunity?
Phyllis Stickney. We had, every time someone came to town,
Right.
having a TV show on cable access at the Black High School gave you access.
Okay.
And so even like Kid and Play, I don't think I fully appreciated, when you're young, things are just kind of
That's
cool.
house party. I mean,
house
1 and
party.
2.
And when cool things happen and you're
Yeah.
young, you don't always appreciate how special it is.
Yes.
When you're young and things go well, you just think it's always, oh, of course it's going to go well. It's supposed to.
Right.
You don't realize how much of a gem it is that you're interviewing people on that show. Even when I watch it now, it's like, that's still a cool show. It looks good. It makes sense. That's
Right.
many years old.
Many years. Yeah. Dick
Decades
Gregory.
Dick Gregory,
Danny-
Ruby
Ruby
D,
D was
okay.
on there.
Danny Glover.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah, it did.
one skit where the guy was actually doing Malcolm and
Yeah, Malcolm and Martin, the play.
Yes.
Yeah, we also covered plays and events at the school. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
one thing
go ahead.
about the show JTV News that I really didn't realize until it stopped, and I'm trying to resurrect it now.
Okay.
But that it was really the single most
Well, we're gonna help you
unifying-
resurrect it,
All
whatever
right, very
Straight Talk can
good.
do. Okay.
All right.
Yes.
It
And
was
our
the
viewing
single-
audience. We're gonna help him resurrect that. Absolutely. We got the community up in here. We're gonna help you resurrect that. Absolutely.
I'm gonna keep you to your word.
Absolutely. He's gonna keep y'all to your word too.
He'll tell you I'm persistent.
He is.
As long as you don't come at 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
No, go ahead. Yes.
But the JTV News was really the single most unifying thing in the school because, as Eme said, we timed it out so that the show was exactly a half an hour long, and it showed the exact last half hour of class.
Okay.
And so the show would show, the credits would roll, the bell would ring, and then every student stepping out of every class had just undergone the same experience.
Oh, that's
And so,
beautiful.
it's like, oh man, I saw you on, blah,
Right,
blah,
that's
blah.
beautiful.
And yeah, so just to have been part of that, and as Eme has talked about, to have students, year after year do that has been a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to resurrecting.
Well, I can feel the energy between you two, and so we're going to let you two spend some time together, and just kind of just reminisce, because I can see it and feel it. And we're going to be joined with Bora Harris, Beneath the Rose. Mr. Lennie Edwards, Eme, it's a pleasure, whatever Straight Talk can do. Well, you go across that red carpet, screaming Straight Talk, right?
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Lennie Edwards, Eme. Right now joining me is Miss Bora Harris, and her segment is called Beneath the Rose. How did you come up with Beneath the Rose?
Beneath the Rose, year after year, as I observe things that happen in the city of Portland, and Portland's considered the city of roses, and some things that happen that are not too pretty.
Okay.
But we know that a rose is extremely pretty. So I came up with that as a way of not necessarily uncovering, but discovering and sharing things that are beneath the rose that our community needs to be aware of.
Well, I'm glad you're here, because what Miss Bora Harris does for us each year and the community is inform us about political issues and how important it is for us to be voting. If you don't think it's not important, let me say it like this here. If you don't think your vote count, It does. Because if it did not count, they would not be making all the obstacles and the gerrymandering and all that other stuff, bridges, to stop you from voting. So your voting does count. If you don't like the conditions, you might like them or you don't like them. But if you don't like the conditions the way it is right now, you got to get out and vote. Not just when it's time for the presidency on all levels. So let's speak to some of these elections that's coming up, please.
Exactly. Well, what's coming up, and I brought some notes just to keep me on track here.
Absolutely.
November 7th of this year is a special election that's coming up, and there are no candidates on the ballots.
Okay.
Okay, there are 3 ballot measures. And one of the ballot measures is, I won't focus on the numbers, but if someone wants to Google it, it's 26195, and it's the 5-year local option tax for Alto Park Water District.
Okay.
Another ballot measure is the funds to construct job training and space and resource and technology classroom safety for Portland Community College. And this is a big
issue.
Big issue.
Big issue.
It's sort of, it's bigger than the president, I would say, because
Okay.
it's very important that our schools are well supported. Well, I can't be biased, but I'm just sharing, you know, our children are our future.
Absolutely,
So whatever
absolutely.
is going to be beneficial to our children, especially our communities of color, especially, but all children, we do need to focus on it and get out there. Too oftentimes people feel it's not major, there are no candidates, there are no familiar names on there, so when I get the ballot, I'm not going to do anything about it. And the third one is basically for Hillsborough. It's bound to improve the schools and the conditions and the safety and to update that. We will not, depending on where you live, you're not going to get a ballot for all 3 of them. I received my ballot about 3-4 days ago, and mine was just for PCC.
Okay.
So it's dependent on what area you're in.
That you live in. So
Yes.
go to that mailbox, P.O. box, and look and see if you got that ballot.
And most importantly, get that ballot, check it, whatever you want. No one coerces or tells you what you should vote on or who you should vote on. You make that decision. You have that power. So use that power that ancestors, that we've fought so hard to gain the right to vote.
Absolutely.
So now it's the time to be empowered.
Now, this one measure, Portland Community Portland Community College, that is about basically cutting up the money.
Yes.
And how they're going to distribute the money.
Yes.
And we really want to find out about that one because our children are involved with that. They've been educated over that. Mr. Edwards just talked about the children leaving Jefferson and going over there. So it's important that we get out and understand it and vote. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, thank you
Yeah.
for that. And one of the three key phases, number 1, want to modernize the classroom technology.
Okay.
Number 2, expand health professions and workforce training programs. And 3, improve safety and sustainability. And these things cannot happen, first of all, without money, and it cannot happen if we do not exercise that vote.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I was reading and I also heard on the radio that over 70% of American people do not know the 3 branches of government. If you could just touch on that, well, we can just put that, because it's about informing people. I'm not going to say educate people because then people get offended.
Yes.
So I'm going to say inform the people what the 3 branches of government are.
Very good. I like that terminology, inform the people. And also the 3 legislative branches are, number 1, the executive branch, and we can break down what that incorporates. The second is the legislative branch, and the third is the judicial branch.
Okay.
And your executive branch, of course, is the governor and the positions that fall underneath that category. Then the legislative branch, I'm just going to put it in a capsule.
Okay.
So basically, your Senate
Okay.
and everything that falls in that category. Then the judicial branch,
Yes.
of course, we're looking at the Supreme Court and all the areas of the judicial branch and the court systems that falls under that. Now, with the top being located in Salem.
Okay.
So all the branches that fall underneath the judicial system. So those are the main categories. And then Department of Justice.
Okay.
So falls
Very
under that.
important, yes.
So the Department of Justice is real critical, because a lot of people do not understand that if things occur, and we tend to go use other resources, but check into it. Go to the website and read up on Department of Justice, what that department is, how it is available to help you, the areas that it is to cover, and utilize the Department of Justice.
Right. Now, from my understanding also, too, is that when we vote, when we register for vote, that's how they pick the jurors in the courtrooms, which is part of that justice system. So when we go into that courtroom and we don't see but other folks, and we're saying, well, where are the other folks at? Well, that's because they didn't vote.
Yes, yes. And one other quick thing, oftentimes when you go to, and you see judges, one judge name, just one single name, well, if you know of a judge, even if you want to put your own name there, and you can vote for yourself.
Say that again. Go ahead.
There are some positions.
Yes.
There are positions that are on ballots. I'm just going to throw out something, nothing direct, but say if I don't want to. Sometimes you don't want to say too much. Straight talk. Maybe if it's a sheriff or it's this department, and you may think, hey, I can do that job better because I've lived in the community, I've walked the path, I have the experience, I have the knowledge, or either I can acquire the knowledge, or I can surround people around me who have that knowledge, and then I can run. So gather your group of people and say, vote for me. Have them to write your name in there, because oftentimes people, if there's only one, I'll pass it. He or she's going to win anyways, but that isn't the case.
It's not the case.
Not the case.
Well, you heard it from Ms. Bora Harris, Beneath the Rose. Thank you, Ms. Harris.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Joining me is the founder of Champion. Now, there's a little history going on here, so I'm going to let them kind of explain, because they started out with barbershops, but they done took it to another level, and it's a husband and wife team. Y'all got that out in the community? Husband and wife team. Go ahead, Mr. Lane. How did you get started, and what's Champions all about in this institution?
All right, well, first, thanks for having us.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
You bringing us out, giving us the opportunity to talk about the school. And being a shop owner, you know, of course, we get people come through looking for employment. And of course, being a barber, being in the service industry, man, your skill level has to be, you know, up to par. And especially being wanting to be a part of Champions Barbershop, it's a whole nother level of standard that we expect. So I was starting to see a routine of, you know, potential barbers coming in with their skills not really, you know, where they should be. And it was kind of annoying me, and it got to the point of frustration.
Okay, yes.
Because it wasn't too different when I was in school, as far as like some of the, you know, the level of education that they were giving the barbers. And so I just felt like there was a void there that needed to be filled. You know, conversated with my wife about it many a times, had, you know, some real conversations about that, and just felt like if I was frustrated about it enough, then maybe it was, you know, mine to do.
Well, we're glad that you're both getting frustrated with it. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Now, your wife is here with you. Share a little bit about the vision together and moving it and making it a reality.
The vision,
I was going to ask you what it's like working with your wife, but I'm going to go there first, and then we'll come back.
That's a good question, though, man. It's not a hard one to answer.
Just, you know, trying to create a legacy, something that we can leave our children, and while doing that, providing opportunities for others to excel and reach their dreams and goals and ambitions.
Okay. Now, when he came home with this frustration, I see this every day. What we going to do about it? How did you feel about that?
It's just disheartening.
Yes.
You know, watching him be a professional barber, it's something special. Barbers have a unique relationship with the community.
Absolutely.
Barbers are community staples. Barbers are community leaders, and they have a lot of influence. And I've watched him be very successful at that, and just, you know, naturally showcase his gifts, you know, with the community. So I was 100% on board with joining the team and, you know, creating something for the community to excel.
We're going to give y'all a clap, because she said that was 100%. Where does your passion come from? Cutting? People say cutting hair, but it's barber, it's a profession.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess my passion, you know, it was I believe it was a gift that was given to me.
There you go.
At a
Yes.
young age. I started cutting hair at a very young age. Not at the time realizing that it was, you know, something that was being given to me to take care of, you know, myself and my future family.
Right.
So once I got a hold and understood that, okay, this is God gave me this gift to do, not just the cutting the hair, but being able to have relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? Being able to communicate with people in a way that made them feel good. You know what I mean? So.
So we could just holler at you. They used to holler at you, man, come on over here and cut my hair, and you just start doing the clipper thing, huh?
You know, I had to cut on my own hair.
Right. Okay.
I had to cut on my own hair, you know, quite a bit as a youngster.
Yeah.
First, you know what I'm saying, and people start seeing it, you know, so I started cutting my partner's hair, started cutting my family's hair.
Right.
And it just kind of grew from there. I actually, I mean, that's pretty much where it came from, though.
So this is, I see we got the institution, but you have some of the students here. I want to share a little bit with the students about this institution.
Right.
And what did it mean to you, and how did they feel that this opportunity was available to you? Introduce your name and just please share a little bit about that.
My name is Lasheera Chambers, and I was looking for a barbershop to go to for my sons one day, and I stumbled across the Institute.
Okay.
And I got excited instantly.
Love it, yes,
I was
yes,
just like,
yes.
I need to enroll right now.
Right now.
So I looked up the information and I gave them a call, and I just felt like the opportunity, it was perfect timing. Right. I had been cutting my son's hair because sometimes you can't get them all in, you know, because, you know, the barbershop, I have 6 kids, you know, so it's hard to get them all in. And I thought it'd be so perfect for me to be able to learn how to cut and be an example for all the young ladies, to let them know that we are here.
Yes.
And we can do this, and it's possible. And when I started Champions, I felt like anything was possible. And I was so encouraged. Like, I love the space. I love my teachers. I love the family that it gives me while I'm there, you know, the feeling of having a family. And I was just excited that they had a vision and that I could partake in that and be able to serve people in my community.
That's beautiful. I know that just moves you when she said it was for her, the atmosphere. Was that something that you both designed to have that type of atmosphere for?
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. You know, the barber industry, man, and it's a barberhood is what we like to call it. You know what I mean? It's a brotherhood and a sisterhood that we have. I feel like, you know, as barbers, we are a special breed of folks. You know what I mean? I feel like we have God-given gifts, you know what I'm saying, that we're able to express through our craft.
And y'all be all up in people's business. Everybody come up in there and tell their business.
Sometimes a little bit too much, you know, but, you know, it's cool though.
Yeah, you talk about brotherhood. You have one of your the brothers from the organization, institution. Introduce your name and tell us how you got involved with this organization. I mean, the institution.
My name is Jason Scott, and cutting hair has always been a passion of mine. My grandmother owned her own salon, and it's something I grew up around. I got away from it, and then I'm 36 years of age right now, and I found Champions Barber Institute, and the second I walked in there, from when Mr. and Mrs. Lane greeted me, and just the feeling of how Lasheera spoke about the family, the acceptance, the level of curriculum that they have, the instruction that Mr. Lane gives us, and not just the practical application of what we do, they're helping us evolve as people and leaders of our community and leaders of people who aren't as fortunate as we are. And as Mr. Lane said, this is a blessing to be in a position like this. And to have Mr. and Mrs. Lane, just the support and the accountability and the instruction and everything that involves Champions, is if you want to change your life, you want to better your life and be a big positive person in other people's lives and spread the power of optimism, this is the institution to go to.
I like that. Absolutely. I know But how did you feel when you just heard what he said, and both of them about coming into this place and not only cutting hair, barbers, but he said it's evolving people into being leaders.
You know, sometimes you placed in position in life, you know, that you wasn't quite sure that that's, you know, how you got there.
Right.
And sometimes I still today, you know, we've been open now for going on 9 months, and I still step back and I look like, wow, we really have a school, a barber school, you know. And so to be as impactful as we are and to hear them say the things that they say is still amazing to me, that they're speaking about me and my wife,
Your wife,
and
yes.
what we've put together. And so I'm just, you know, I'm humbled by that and grateful for the opportunity to play that type of part in somebody else's life.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned your grandmother. Is she still with us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, what's her name?
Virginia.
Miss Virginia, we salute you and clap for you. Absolutely. Because she put that in you. She influenced you. And today, I mean, you're going to be doing great things already, but the sky is the limit. And for what you're just sharing, this environment, you're going to take it to another level. How does it feel to be able to live out your dream?
It's, as Mr. Lane just said, it's humbling.
Yes.
And it's gratifying. It's to be able to be passionate about something, but have an instructor like Mr. Lane evolve that passion into talent and be able to use my hands and use who I am as a person and have a positive influence on other people. It's important. It's why I believe we're here, people like us, the barbers, the people that go to our school. It's all of us have different special unique talents, not just as barbers but as people, and the Lanes bring that out in us and support that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now you mentioned, Lasheera, that you have a couple of children.
I do.
Is a few of them here?
They are.
Well, let's have them come on up. Come on up and join Mom for a minute. Come on up.
Josiah.
Yeah, come on. Cause you're our future. Come on up here, future. Yes. Come on up. Might as well get ready for stardom. I just want you to come up and be with your mom.
Yeah.
Yes, be with your mom. Now, who put that design in your head?
My mom.
Oh, your mom. Now, how does it feel you can go to Mom and get your hair cut?
Good.
Good? What about, what's your name, Josiah?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's your brother's name?
Isaiah.
Well, so get it right, huh? How you say it? Say it again. Isaiah.
But he calls me Isaiah.
He calls, yeah. But you know, you're the future. And so I just wanted you to come out here so young people can see you and love you just like we love you, and just keep on supporting your mom, letting her carve up your head, you know? Yeah, because it's a beautiful thing. Now, I got a question, and I know the viewing audience is asking, how do a husband and wife team make it through? I noticed you turned.
All right, well, I'm going to say my piece, and I'll let her speak her piece too.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. This is the best partnership that I've had.
Okay.
You know, like I said, you know, we had the barbershops prior to the school, but she's a lot more involved in the school.
Okay.
And this is the best partners. I wish I would have had her more involved with the shops, honestly.
Right.
But this is definitely something that I advise couples to do.
Go ahead,
you know,
go ahead.
If they're interested, you know, if their entrepreneurship is something that they're interested in, don't go outside of your marriage, you know, looking for a partner. The best partner you can have is your wife or your husband, in my opinion. But us working together, man, it's been great. It wouldn't be possible without her. You know, she is the backbone, the brains, you know, the support, everything.
Yo, rib, huh?
Yeah, to this whole thing, man.
Yes,
so,
yes.
I'm definitely grateful for Miss Lane. I love working with her.
Okay, beautiful. Miss Lane, real quickly.
The sky's the limit. Whatever
Sky's
you
the
put your mind to, you can do. And it's a joy to work with someone on multiple levels, raising a family, having a business, creating an empire as a family. It's a beautiful thing.
People, it's been my pleasure. Whatever Straight Talk can do to help keep this message out, talk about this institution, we can bring some more students on, let them talk. Maybe we can do some demonstrations too.
All right.
Okay, champion in those students. Joining me is Mr. Cunningham, and he's from the North by Northeast Health Community Center.
Community Health Center.
Community Health Center, I like that, because it's about being healthy. And we can get all the money in the world, but if we're not healthy, we can't spend the money. So what exactly do your organization do and what are you involved with?
Well, the organization itself is a community health clinic.
Okay.
It takes people from our community. It centers on the African American community, where a lot of times you go to a doctor, you don't really feel comfortable with them, don't know who they are. You have that 3 minutes, 7 minutes with the doctor, he's out the room and on to the next patient. At North by Northeast, we actually spend time. The doctors spend time with the patients, talk to them, find out what's going on with them, and really pushing for a healthier, more dynamic community.
Okay, now, you also talk about blood pressure.
That's what I do with them.
Okay, let's talk a little about how important that is.
All right, so blood pressure is the #1 killer in the black community.
Number one killer. Number one killer. Go ahead.
And
yes.
It's one of the things that's probably the easiest thing for us to actually control.
Okay.
It's just like when you go out to your car, I mean, you fill it up with gas, you check the oil, you do all those things. You make sure your car is going to run so you can get to where you're going. Our bodies are pretty much, if you think of it as your vehicle to get through life, you maintain it. That's all you should do. And one of the simplest things to do is just to check your blood pressure. It's not going to tell you if you're healthy. It's not going to tell you if you're not healthy. But it gives you a gauge of where you're at, especially if you know what your numbers are. They always tell you, know your numbers for your credit score. You should know your numbers for your health, too.
Absolutely. Now, what seems to be, is it a culture thing, or economical thing, or environment that people won't get checked?
Yep.
Why? Okay, go. You said you have to all three of them.
Yep.
Okay.
Culturally, I can't speak to that, but I know when I go into, like, one of the things I do is go into barbershops.
Okay.
And check blood pressures in there. And brothers are kind of funny. It's like, no, my blood pressure's good. Everybody just had their blood pressure checked last week. Everybody. And all of them, oh, it's good, it's good. My blood, oh, or it's bad, or
Right.
it's worse than anything out there. The thing is, you know, they check it once a year when they go to their annual checkup. Okay. And it's something that they should probably roll monthly. Or, you know, a couple times a month, just to kind of get that number, what it is. Because if you know what that number is on a consistent basis, if it goes way above that, or if it starts peaking or it drops way low, you know something's probably going on. That way you can talk to your doctor intelligently about it, right?
Right, right.
So culturally, it's just something that we just have to be just more progressive and just do it. We just need to get in there and be responsible for our own selves. Economically, I don't think so. I think if you have access to a machine, you go into Fred Meyer's, go into Safeway, go into Albertsons, go into Walmart, they have those machines, you put your arm in, you take a minute out of your day, and it tells you what your blood pressure is. So that's something that person can check anytime there.
So people, when you say a machine, don't just look at the machine, keep on rolling. Stop there, stick your arm in there and get it checked.
Just find out what it is.
Right. Now, where does your passion come from to do this?
Well, several years ago, my father passed away, right?
Okay. My condolences to you, sir.
Oh, well,
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
He had high blood pressure. He had a lot of things. He ended up having a stroke, and that's the thing. High blood pressure, that indicator. The thing
Right.
is, what happens is that, you know, a lot of stuff can go on with your body, but the high blood pressure isn't what killed him. He actually took his medication. He did all kinds of stuff before that. I didn't know how important it was. Had no clue. As a matter of fact, anytime someone was in the hospital, I wouldn't go. But once I found out that, oh, wow, he did have high blood pressure. I mean, my dad was invincible. I mean, you know, as a kid growing up,
Right.
he was like the biggest thing out there. He could coach baseball. He could build a house. He could train a dog. He could, you know, do anything that he wanted
right.
to do.
Mhm.
He went to work. He brought home, you know, he slept, he snored. He did everything that dad's supposed to do. But
say he snored.
He snored.
Remember that for real.
He snored a lot. My kids say I do too. But anyway, I still haven't heard it.
Right.
But anyway, so when it took him out, it wasn't the blood pressure that took him out. It was the results of a lot of the other things that probably could have been resolved a lot earlier in his life if he had known about his blood pressure before that time. And, you know, when I was younger and healthier, I would always say, oh man, my blood pressure can go down. All I do is just run a little bit, stay less stressed, do this, do that, and my blood pressure would fluctuate up and down. A friend of mine at Northeast Health Community Health Center, she said, Derwin, you need to go to the doctor.
Right.
Because, you know, I would always stick my hand in the machine. My blood pressure kept going up. Before I used to be able to keep it unchecked real easily. And I went in, and finally the doctor, Dr. Jill, she just said, look, there's two things that can happen. One, yeah, your blood pressure can go down, or two, you can get sick and die.
Right, right.
And she didn't say it that way. She was very gentle about it.
Right.
But she said the choice was mine. And that's all I try to convey to people, is that the choice is yours. You can move forward, or you can kind of stay where you're at.
Now, as a father, how important it is for us to share with our young people about our blood pressure, eating right, and staying healthy. Because you spoke about your dad and his, yes.
Oh, yeah, see, he stayed around pretty long.
Your father, right?
I am a father.
What do you tell your children about blood pressure?
Oh, theirs is great. I tell them to keep it great. I mean, they're very active. They eat healthy. They do pretty much everything they're supposed to do that way.
So you keep them informed about high blood pressure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Cunningham, we appreciate. I'm getting what I would like to do is have you back on, and maybe you can bring a couple of other members or some of the young people, and we can talk. We can get a little more in depth about blood pressure and how important it is, and ways that we can just eat better, understand the importance of it, and do better and be more healthy. Could you do that for us? We appreciate that.
Sure.
Yes, it's been an honor talking with you.
Thank
appreciate you. Mr. Cunningham.
Thanks so much.
That was good.
Pay attention, everybody. Let's go. Say. Yeah, 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 yeah. See, I'm living 'cause I'm out and living on the edge. So I keep on giving, but it don't matter what she said. So trust this, here's a message from Sensei. A mad world, no matter what the people say. Paranoid, not void, 'cause I'm scared as hell. 'Cause cops might get me, I got no money for my bail. No disrespect, what the heck, what's your real name? $2 bill, cheap thrill, I think it's all the same. Say goodnight, say goodnight. Don't forget the lights on your way out. Say goodnight, say goodnight. Don't forget the lights on your way out. Yeah, yeah, whoa, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody creeping 'cause I'm out and living on the edge. So I keep on giving, it don't matter what she says. So I want everybody to live what's right. Let's come together and have peace in the world today. We're gonna say goodnight and keep it real. Show me the peace sign. Paranoid, non-void, 'cause I'm scared as hell. 'Cause cops might get me, I got no money for my bail. What's the loose, what's the use, won't you feel me? So I want you to know we're gonna keep it, yeah, yeah, yeah. Say goodnight, say goodnight. Don't forget the lights on your way out. Say goodnight, say goodnight. So don't forget the, yo, say, so don't you wonder why I can't criticize, yeah. I'll just say goodbye. Don't need a reason why, yo. Yeah, 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 yeah. Say goodnight, say goodnight. Give it up for Tony Brown, y'all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say. Let's pay attention, everybody. Let's live in a world with a peaceful way. You know what I'm saying? say, yeah, 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 yeah. So I want you to right here by your side. Don't you wonder why I can criticize? Yeah, I'll just say goodbye. Don't need a reason why. Say, show the peace in the world, y'all. We'll see you soon. Damon Baptiste, I love you. Around the world, y'all. Yeah, yeah, you know. Say goodnight. Say goodnight. So don't forget the lights on your way out. Peace and love, America. One love, y'all. Let's keep it real. Yeah, 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 yeah. Say goodnight. Say goodnight. Don't forget the lights on your way out.
Smile up on my face, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm blessed. Yes, I'm blessed. Yes. Playing cards, laughing hard, barbecuing, waking up the whole block. Music loud, turning out. Little kids are breaking out the bus stop. Life is good, really good. And every moment, no, I can't.